some pictures that we want to create. We know that your words must create pictures in people's minds. Now, this slide will contain some positive pictures, okay? Positivity, you know, some good reasons why they should pay. So the pictures that we want to create in their mind are something like this. Okay, this is not a very positive picture. I don't know why I put it here, but this is a picture. This is basically all the arrows pointing towards this person. She's in heavy debt. Okay, she's in heavy debt, and all these arrows are actually collectors, debt collector 1, debt collector 2, like that. And all of them calling her, sending her emails, sending her WhatsApp messages, SMS messages. She's bombarded by people whom she owes money. So this is one picture that we want to try to, of course, this is a negative picture. I don't know what it's doing in this slide. Doesn't matter. Now, a positive picture is where we let them understand, or we get them to want a solution. Like we want the customer to tell us, hey, I want to pay you. How can you help me? We want that kind of a dialogue from the customer. And if we can do that, which that basically means that we said certain things, we created certain pictures in their mind that made them think like this lady. Oh my God, I need a solution. So automatically, instead of me saying to her, you know what, you are in trouble, you need a solution. Instead of me telling her that, I just very softly create certain pictures in her mind so that she will automatically want a solution, want to pay us. When they want to pay us, they will take steps, they will take measures to actually make a payment. They just need us to maybe be a little bit more understanding in terms of maybe the amount of time or the amount of money that they can pay and so on. We want them to have, we want every one of our customers to have this middle picture in their mind. Oh my God, I need a solution. I need to be able to pay these people. All right, now let's look at this, a positive picture. Look at this guy, he's debt free. So the person that you normally call to collect debt, they actually will feel very good if you don't call them to collect debt. And you tell them, hey, can you imagine, when your finance has already made the payment and all that is done, you can imagine I will not be calling and bugging you all the time about the payment, and you'll feel very nice, and you'll have peace of mind. When I say this kind of thing to the customer, they're thinking, yeah, I don't want this person to call me. I want to feel free. I want to feel peace of mind. So then they will start, pestering or calling their finance department to get the payment ready faster. So this feeling really does that for us. I mean, imagine when somebody wants to go buy a nice car, most of us, honestly speaking, don't really care about the shape of the car or whatever. All we care about is when I open the door and come out of this car and people see me, how do I look? Now that is basically the feeling. So the salesperson, the car salesperson should be smart enough to take me there emotionally. Instead of explaining to me that these are, a 16-inch or 18-inch rims, and this paint is, lasts for 20 years, and this car can go 0 to 100 in this many seconds. These are all features of that car. But what they need to tell me is that, sir, go ahead and sit in the car. I will take a picture of you and I'll show you. See, this is how you look when you sit in this car. This is an emotional way of getting me to buy the car. Now, we do the same thing in terms of debt collection. We use emotional dialogue, like you will be debt free, you will be so free, I won't be calling to bother you. This is one less call you will have to receive today. Imagine if your finance was always on time. What I suggest is you just keep an eye on finance, keep following up with them so that people don't call, so that we also reduce the number of calls we make to you and bother you all the time. So this kind of thing makes them feel that it's not the debt collector's fault that he's calling me all the time. It's actually internally my finance department that needs to buck up and make sure that they make payments on time. So then internally they start pestering their own people and getting your payment. So these are all different empathic ways. We are using empathy. I mean, I'm just thinking, if I'm debt free, how would I feel? If I don't owe anybody money, how would I feel? So I just simply translate that into words and phrases, and I tell that to my customer. Because this has to do with if somebody is collecting debt from individuals, maybe credit card payment or housing loan or something like that. So then we can tell them, if you pay on time, your secrets is chante, all 000, your reports are very good with the government, then with Bank Nagara, then with good credit, it is easy for you to finance things like car and so on, and you are able to put more of your salary in your pocket. This is more towards individuals, not companies. But the same thing can actually be told to a company, if you pay on time, then you don't have to come up with 3 or 4 months of bill one shot and pay. It's easier to pay on time and smaller amounts. So then that's another picture that we are able to create in their mind. Then peace of mind. No more calls from debt collectors. So these pictures, imagine if a debt collector calls you and within 1 or 2 minutes in the phone call, you are already thinking about all of these pictures in your mind. That is actually emotional persuasion. We use the right words to create the right images, and we translate those images. They go through the phone line and enter the customer's brain. When these images are there, that's when they start thinking, oh my God, I think I need to pay. Or it would be great, once we have paid already, we will be debt free and no more debt collectors calling us, all this pressure that we will not have anymore. Something of that nature. Let's look at some negative pictures. I believe we have, yes, the worrisome. Your words must create pictures in their mind. Worrisome pictures. Hire purchase. Hire purchase is basically cars, people who finance cars and their car payment is late and the bank starts calling them. Now, what the bank must do is also create these worrisome negative pictures in their mind. Now, imagine this picture. Your car can get repossessed. That's a picture. Imagine, in front of your house, the tow truck comes and they are taking away your car. Now you don't know how you're going to get to work. You still owe the money. You still owe the payments. And now you don't have a car also. So if you notice towards the bottom there, no car, but still paying the balance car payment. What are we doing? We are creating negative pictures in the customer's mind so that once again they say to themselves, oh my God, I need a solution. Okay, because these people are, you can see the bottom left hand corner, they are taking the train, they do own a car, but they were late on their payments. So now they're paying the car payments also and also taking public transportation, which actually shouldn't be happening because they have a car. So a very worrisome, very negative picture that is created. Then your loan can get cancelled, and that when your loan gets cancelled, that's really bad for our credit rating. And this is what we do. We simply don't tell them, sir, if you don't, this is the 3rd month, next month, the loan can get cancelled. And then we stop there. If we stop there, that means we haven't really created that picture in their mind, what can happen when the loan gets cancelled. So we need to tell them, we need to know the law about that. Here, I just want you to understand the concept behind convincing people to pay their debts. Of course, same thing I use for sales. Now, when your loan gets cancelled, blacklisted. Blacklisted is actually a really scary, really kind of word. We don't want to get blacklisted. So that's something that, and once we are blacklisted, nobody wants to give us loans. Nobody wants to talk about financing with us. And all they ask us is just pay back, pay back, pay back. And then another one, having to appear in court and explaining to the judge. This is basically the final aspect of debt collection, where the client or their company actually has to end up in court. When that happens, then the judge decides how much you have to pay. Whether you have it or not, whether you have the money in your bank or not, you still have to come up with it. If the judge says you have to pay 5,000 ringgit a month for the next 12 months, this is a decree by the law. Now you have to do it. And if you don't do it, then of course there will be other consequences that the judge might put inside the decree. So these are certain ways that we can create pictures in people's minds. How, of course, I'm a businessman. I conduct training. I sell my training programs to various organizations, and I have found this, that no matter how much I talk about how I'm going to do the training, that's not what really works. What really works is when I tell them what results they are going to enjoy after the training. you know when I talk to a client, the head of risk management, or head of the debt collection department, maybe in some company, I tell them, I'm sure your people are going through this. I'm sure your people are going through this. I'm sure your people are receiving empty promises, and you can see probably they get headaches all the time, and these people get stressed all the time. And customers, they will say, I will pay by next week, and then they never pay. What am I doing? I am actually creating these pictures in the head of department's brain for this person to think, yala, that's what my department is going through. When he creates that picture, when I'm able to create that picture, then that person will know that, hey, I think the Shahrukh may be an expert in this debt collection training, because he already knows how my people are going through, what my people are going through. So yes, definitely, creating pictures is basically the best way to emotionally convince people to buy or to pay their debt.